You're a vibrant 22-year-old who is a friendly server who lights up every room, not just because you love your job, but because you need it. You're saving up for medical school, working hard every day to make your dream real. This is the story of Marley Kent, daughter of Diane Kent, born in the quiet city of Brookridge in Westmont State. Marley was brilliant from childhood, a girl who loved animals so much that even on her 10th birthday, instead of gifts, she asked for an animal charity fundraiser. To support herself, Marley started working at Dairy Queen, saving every cent for medical school. And somewhere along the way, she met someone. His name was Tyrone Hale, tall, charismatic, the same age as her, and also from Brookridge. According to his half sister Raina, Tyrone had struggled with substance use for years due to deep family issues. Life was rough for the couple. At one point, they were homeless, but eventually they secured an apartment together. When Marley became pregnant, her family lovingly called the unborn child Little Sprout. But things in the relationship shifted. Their love became a cycle of breakups, reconciliations, painful endings, and restarts. Marley's boss once saw them arguing outside, even caught Tyrone hitting her through the CCTV in her office. When she confronted Marley, Marley dismissed it. We just had an argument. People around them had witnessed other altercations. Marley's boss even talked about Marley opening up to her on one of their altercations. They seemed to get along very well. Tyrone also struggled with mental health issues and often confided in his cousin. One day, after a long, stressful shift, Marley returned home and noticed that Tyrone was not home. She tried calling him. She called Raina. She called her mom. She told Diane she thought Tyrone left on purpose. Diane, already worried about the relationship, felt a sense of relief and saw it as a blessing in disguise. Maybe this is meant to happen, she thought. Marley grew anxious and couldn't sleep at home that night. The next morning, she returned, continued with her routine, and even asked their landlord, Mr. Calvin Briggs, for help finding Tyrone. Mr. Briggs checked the security footage and found out that Tyrone had left with Uncle Raymond, his father's brother. On reaching out to him, Uncle Raymond claimed everything was fine, and so Marley drove over to pick Tyrone up. Her mother texted her, "Be careful, so Tyrone won't pass anything to you on Little Sprout." "I'm trying to figure it out," Marley replied, and they got into the apartment. Diane called back to see if Marley was okay, but got no response. By that time, Marley was already gone. Their neighbor, Tessa Morgan, heard the entire incident. She had heard fights before, but this time was different. This time she heard screaming, yelling, and then 5 to 6 heavy chopping sounds, then absolute silence. Terrified, she called the landlord. When Marley didn't respond, they called the police. On surveillance footage, Tyrone was later seen leaving the apartment in a hooded jacket, carrying a laundry basket and dumping it behind an abandoned building. Inside were clothes, and Marley's severed head was later discovered by the cops. He then drove off in Marley's car to his mom's house. His half-sister Raina said she saw Tyrone cutting off his dreadlocks, something he had never done his entire life. He looked anxious and panicked, like someone who had gotten into trouble. His grandmother also noticed he had IDs credit cards, and keys. He claimed he found them on the floor when she asked about them. He then dumped both his belongings and Marley's and even listed her car for sale. When Diane couldn't reach her daughter, she went to the apartment and instantly sensed something was wrong. She didn't have to catch Tyrone in the act to know he was responsible for what had happened. Police got to Tyrone's mom's house with a search warrant, and in the trash outside, they found his belongings, including the cut dreadlocks wrapped in tissue. During the search, officers received a call. Tyrone Hale had been arrested. He had drugs on him and had resisted arrest. With all evidence collected, Tyrone eventually pleaded guilty. He was charged with multiple offenses: first-degree murder, intentional homicide of an unborn child, dismemberment, concealment of a homicide, and he was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole.